Story 7. A Helping Hand. Philip Q. Branty was an unassuming man of roughly average height and weight. His facial features, while not entirely unattractive, were forgettable at best. He kept a neat, tidy appearance about himself. His thick dark hair was always well kept and trimmed, his face always clean-shaven, and his clothing clean and pressed, with nary a wrinkle to be seen. He wore a large pair of square, black-rimmed glasses, which, in contrast to the rest of his appearance, were ill-fitting and were forever slipping down his nose. Philip lived in Braesbury, a small, quiet town on the eastern side of the Grey Canyon. He made his living as a general laborer for the townspeople. Every day, Philip worked from sun-up to sundown, fixing roofs that had been damaged by storms, mucking out the town stables, assisting in the preparation and distribution of the morning and evening meals, ensuring that the town gates were barred and secured at nightfall, and many other small but important tasks. Though the population of Braesbury was minuscule, less than 200 adults and children at any given time, the number of tasks never seemed to end. As soon as Philip finished one, he was immediately asked to complete another. Eventually, the constant stress of his never-ending to-do list led to Philip becoming surly and ill-tempered with the other folk of Braesbury. Gone was the friendly, dapper fellow that everyone had come to know and love, replaced by an irritable, disheveled stranger. His clothes were often grimy and smelled of whatever work he had been doing for the past few days, and he no longer exchanged pleasantries or small talk with the others of the town. It all came to a head one hot sunny day as he struggled to move a broken wagon wheel from the dirt road that ran through the center of the town. Although there were several other men about, none offered to help Philip with his burden. Instead, they all went about their own business and seemed to pay no attention to his grunts of effort. "What a sorry lot," Philip muttered under his breath. "Here I am trying to do something that benefits us all, and they just stand around like a gaggle of slack-jawed geese." After several more minutes of heaving and grunting, Philip threw down the end of the wheel that he was trying to drag. "I'm going home," Philip shouted. "None of you appreciate how hard I work. You can fix your own problems and clean up your own messes for yourself from now on." Philip then stomped away towards his home, ignoring the shocked expressions on the faces of the other townspeople. Several hours later, when the sun had mostly sunk below the horizon, Philip was sitting in his cozy armchair, trying to read by the meager light of a lone candle. He would start a sentence, remember his earlier outburst, become ashamed and saddened by his actions, and then lose his place on the page. Eventually, he gave up and decided to go to bed. In the morning, I guess I'll apologize to everyone I yelled at earlier today," he thought to himself. Philip then sank into unpleasant dreams, populated with immovable wagon wheels, squeaky doors, and 100 other tedious tasks. Philip was woken by a loud knocking upon his door. "What time is it?" he wondered groggily, as he noticed sunlight shining strongly through his windows. "I've slept far too late," he exclaimed, jumping out of bed, hurriedly removing his pajamas and throwing on some dirty clothes that had been lying on the floor next to him. "Yes," he said, opening the door to his home. "What is it? What needs fixing?" He stopped abruptly as he saw what appeared to be the entirety of the town standing outside his door. Before he could speak again, a young boy by the name of Oscar stepped forward. Morning, Mr. Phil, the boy mumbled as he looked shyly down at his feet.
Good morning, Oscar, Philip replied. What is this all about, my boy? Well, sir, I saw you yesterday when you were pulling on that wagon wheel, and I felt bad that you were having such a terrible day on our account. I asked my mother and father if there was something we could do to help you be happy again. We all miss how you used to be, always going about with a smile on your face and a kind word for any of us. We didn't realize how much your work was bothering you, and we just wanted to let you know how much we appreciate all that you do for us. Young Oscar stepped back, and his father, Jared, stepped forward. Philip, he began, you do more for this town than any other person here. I am ashamed to admit that it took us all so long to notice your unhappiness. We should have spoken to you and let you know what you mean to all of us much sooner. After Oscar came to his mother and me yesterday, I called a town meeting. There, we all decided to pull all of our gold and silver together to get you a gift that reflects our respect and appreciation for you and all that you do for us and our town. Jared then reached his left hand into the breast pocket of his rough-spun brown coat and removed a curious-looking object. It was roughly oval-shaped, approximately 6 inches in diameter, and appeared to be made of clear glass. It was a figure of sorts, with a small round head and spindly arms and legs. This, continued Jared, is what is called an autonomous elemental helper. They are crafted by wizards and sorcerers by weaving arcane spells with a facet of nature. They are used to assist them with a variety of tasks and are inexhaustible as well as nigh on indestructible. With this, you won't have to worry as much over your workload. You can simply tell your helper what needs to be done, and it will carry out most any simple task in a timely and efficient manner. Taking the glass figure from Harris, Philip looked down at the small strip of parchment attached to the front. It read, in spidery, hard-to-decipher handwriting, Instructions for use. Place the autonomous elemental helper on the ground. Recite the activation phrase, in vigorous autonomosis, and then simply tell it what you would like for it to do. The helper will then grow to whatever size is appropriate to accomplish its goals. When it is finished, the helper will then revert to its previous state. Keep in mind, these figures are not capable of handling too many complexities. Do not ask it to build you a ladder to the stars, or to solve complex mathematical equations, or anything of a similar nature. Doing so will cause the helper to try its best to accomplish what you desire, but it will ultimately fail and crumble once more into inert materials. Thank you for your patronage, and I wish you luck in all of your future endeavors. The parchment was signed at the bottom with a string of arcane symbols and runes that shifted and shone and were entirely indecipherable to Philip. Wiping tears of gratitude from his eyes, he straightened and addressed the townpeople arrayed around him. Thank you all. This is a gift that I will treasure for as long as I have breath in my body. Well, are you going to try it out? Shouted Oscar, with a mischievous grin on his face. Or are you just going to stand there and stare at it? Grinning in return, Philip set the figure on the ground. What's the first item on today's list? The end.